Imagine what the World Trade Center could have looked like today. 7 visionary designs, each with the potential to reshape one of the world's most iconic sites, but only one made the cut. Have you ever wondered how different New York's skyline could be? Explore the 7 finalists from the World Trade Center Design Competition, showcasing the breathtaking concepts that almost became a reality. Which one would you have chosen? Could one of these have better captured the essence of rebuilding Ground Zero? Let's find out. The devastation of 9/11 wasn't just physical. It left an emotional void in the hearts of millions. The site, once home to the World Trade Center, became a symbol of both loss and resilience. For the architects and planners, the challenge was immense. How do you rebuild in a place so steeped in memory? How do you honor the past while moving forward? The project had to both honor the memory of the victims and serve the city's economic needs, ensuring Lower Manhattan could recover from the physical and financial blow dealt by the destruction of the Twin Towers. The responsibility of this enormous project fell on the Lower Manhattan Development Corporation, LMDC, established by New York State and City specifically to oversee the revitalization of the area. Their role was pivotal. Not only did they manage the delicate balance of memorializing the tragic events, but they also coordinated efforts to restore Lower Manhattan as a thriving commercial hub. In July 2002, the LMDC launched a design competition to gather ideas for rebuilding the World Trade Center site. The goal wasn't just to replace the buildings. It was to create a vision that would honor the victims of 9/11 while looking toward the future. However, the more than 400 designs submitted in the first round were widely criticized by the public and experts alike. Many felt the proposals were uninspired and too focused on commercial elements, without adequately addressing the emotional and symbolic importance of the site. Even Donald Trump stepped in. He publicly criticized the designs, calling them disgraceful and lacking the grandeur and symbolism that the original Twin Towers embodied. Trump proposed an alternative, rebuilding the Twin Towers but with a modern twist. His design, called Twin Towers 2, would have recreated the iconic structures with taller, stronger and more fortified towers that would soar 115 stories high, 5 floors taller than the originals. Though not formally considered, his proposal resonated with many New Yorkers still mourning the loss. Because of this backlash, the competition was relaunched in December 2002 with a stronger focus on capturing both the emotional weight of the tragedy and the need for a functional, revitalized Lower Manhattan. 7 finalist teams were chosen, each tasked with balancing memorialization, practical use, and innovation. Architects had to meet the challenge of navigating the diverse opinions from the public, government officials, and stakeholders, all of whom had strong feelings about what should rise in place of the Twin Towers. These are their designs. The Think team, led by Raphael Vinoli and Frederick Schwartz, envisioned transforming the World Trade Center site into a world cultural center. Their bold design aimed to shift focus from a purely commercial rebuild to one centered on community, culture, and memorialization. The proposal featured 2 lattice-work towers that would rise from the original Twin Towers footprints, symbolically restoring New York's skyline. The towers would serve as vertical spaces for memorials and cultural activities, creating a transparent, open frame structure that balanced both lightness and strength. Public accessibility was a key part of the design, with viewing platforms and cultural spaces such as a museum and performing arts center situated 40 stories above ground. The team also integrated sustainability, using wind turbines to generate power for the structures and restoring the original street grid, creating a vibrant, walkable public park. Below ground, memorial plazas located within the Twin Towers footprints would offer a serene place for reflection. The Think team's design aims to make the site a 24-hour destination, blending cultural spaces with commercial use and emphasizing architecture as a civic resource for the city. Norman Foster and his firm, Foster & Partners, proposal focused on balancing memorialization with urban renewal. At the heart of the design were the footprints of the original Twin Towers. Surrounding these footprints, Foster envisioned a large public park, 20 acres, that connected the site to Battery Park City. This park was intended not just as a memorial space, but as a bustling area with shops, cafes, restaurants, theatres and cinemas, offering a lively environment for both locals and visitors. The design sought to revitalise Lower Manhattan by drawing people to the site for both remembrance and leisure. The proposal's defining feature was the Twin Towers. These towers were unique in form, with a slanted, diamond-shaped top that created a crystalline appearance. The triangular geometries of the towers symbolised harmony, unity and strength. Two parts of the tower would touch at 3 points along their 500-metre height, creating observation decks, exhibition spaces and cafes, while also providing strategic links for escape routes in case of emergency. Foster's vision didn't stop at the towers and the park. His plan also emphasised the restoration of the original street grid of Lower Manhattan, which had been disrupted by the previous World Trade Center complex. A mass transit hub beneath the tower would enhance commuter access, linking subway and path lines. United Architects' proposal, which included prominent architect, envisioned a design that reflected both memorialization and forward-thinking urban integration. Their approach proposed geometrically shaped towers that would rise from the footprints of the original Twin Towers. They were designed to be futuristic and abstract, reflecting a modern interpretation of the original Twin Towers. Instead of standing as separate entities, the towers were connected by a series of sky bridges, creating a visually striking form. These interconnected points served as both structural supports and symbolic representations of unity and resilience. A key feature of their proposal was the inclusion of public spaces, such as parks and plazas, intended to foster community gathering and reflection, as well as the restoration of the original street grid, which had been disrupted by the original World Trade Center complex. Peterson-Littenberg vision was a mixed-use development, combining residential, commercial and cultural spaces. This approach aimed to create a vibrant community that would attract residents and visitors alike, moving away from the traditional 9-to-5 office district model. The design featured two 1,400-foot towers, described as fists in the air, symbolizing resilience. These modern structures were designed with a geometric aesthetic that set them apart from traditional skyscrapers, giving them a striking visual presence while blending with Lower Manhattan's urban context. These towers were surrounded by a 5-acre memorial garden located on the footprints of the original Twin Towers, with reflective pools and an amphitheatre to commemorate the victims. The proposal also placed strong emphasis on urban connectivity, restoring the disrupted street grid and introducing new blocks, enhancing pedestrian movement throughout the site. A mile-long sequence of public spaces stretching from City Hall Park to Battery Park. Renowned architects Richard Meyer, Peter Eisenman, Charles Gwathmey, and Stephen Hull joined forces to create a collaborative proposal for the World Trade Center site, focusing on the interplay between public space, symbolism, and urban integration. At the heart of their design was Memorial Square, a grand public space that sought to honor the victims of 9/11. Memorial Square was envisioned as a large open space, representing both reflection and connectivity. It was designed to extend into the surrounding streets with symbolic fingers stretching out to areas like the Hudson River and the Transit Center. These extensions created ceremonial gateways, guiding visitors into the square and aimed to blend the memorial with the broader urban landscape. The design also included two 1,111-foot geometric towers, structured as 5 vertical sections connected by 3 horizontal bars. The horizontal bars not only served as structural elements, but also as symbolic connectors, creating a new architectural language that bridged the past and the future. Beneath Memorial Square, the plan included a retail concourse and integrated connections to subway and commuter train lines, ensuring that the site would not only serve as a memorial, but also become a bustling, practical space for the city. Skidmore, Owings and Merrill, SOM, in their proposal, in collaboration with Sana, presented a bold vision for the World Trade Center site that focused on creating a unique vertical city. The design featured 9 slender towers, each rising to approximately 1,000 feet. These towers were arranged on the western edge of the site, symbolically emerging from reflective pools that represented the original harbor boundary, merging the city's past with its future. A defining element of SOM's concept was the integration of sky bridges connecting the towers at multiple levels. Unlike traditional sky bridges designed for structural purposes, SOM's connections were intended to act as elevated public spaces, featuring gardens, cultural venues, terraces, museums, and libraries. These suspended spaces were envisioned as vertical community hubs, fostering interaction and engagement high above the streets of Manhattan, compensating for the limited ground area. The plan also included a phased construction approach, allowing flexibility in development based on market demands. As each tower rose, it would be connected to its neighboring structures through these orthogonal sky bridges, slowly weaving together an intricate, elevated urban landscape. The studio Daniel Libeskind proposal was titled Memory Foundations, a concept aimed to create a space that both honored the past and embraced the future. The focal point of his vision was the memorial, which occupied the footprints of the original Twin Towers. These were to be transformed into 2 large reflecting pools surrounded by a tranquil plaza filled with trees and open spaces for reflection. This concept was later known as reflecting absence. This idea materialized closely to Libeskind's original concept, with the National September 11 Memorial and Museum now featuring 2 reflecting pools in the footprints of the towers. The master plan also included 5 skyscrapers strategically arranged in a semicircle around the memorial, creating a sense of enclosure and intimacy. This layout allowed for views of the memorial from multiple angles, while giving the area a cohesive, interconnected feel. The most important was the Freedom Tower, later known as One World Trade Center, rising to a symbolic height of 1,776 feet to represent American independence. The tower featured a twisting form and spire, evoking the Statue of Liberty's torch and serving as a beacon of resilience. The tower was also intended to serve as a commercial office space with public observation decks that offered panoramic views of the city. Libeskind also focused on the slurry wall, a surviving element from the original site which had held back the Hudson River during the attacks. This wall became a powerful symbol of endurance, and his proposal emphasized leaving part of it exposed within the Memorial Museum. Another unique aspect of the design was the wedge of light, a feature where the sun's rays would illuminate specific parts of the plaza at the time of the attacks each year, marking the tragedy with a natural, living memorial. Unfortunately, this part of Libeskind's vision was never fully realized. In February 2003, Daniel Libeskind's proposal was selected as the winning master plan. The decision to choose Libeskind was influenced by the depth of symbolism in his design, which resonated with both the public and the stakeholders involved. His ability to weave together the themes of loss and hope, while also addressing the need for a functional urban space, made his proposal stand out among others. However, as the project evolved, other architects and firms contributed to the final vision. Notably, David Childs from Skidmore, Owings and Merrill, SOM, played a significant role in the design of One World Trade Center, leading to changes that incorporated security enhancements and commercial viability. The collaboration between Libeskind and Childs led to modifications in the Freedom Tower's design, making it more practical for modern needs while retaining the symbolic elements that defined Libeskind's original vision. Over the years, the World Trade Center site has become a blend of Libeskind's conceptual framework and contributions from various architects, with projects like the National September 11 Memorial and Museum and the Transportation Hub continuing to reflect the core values of resilience and renewal. The journey to rebuild the World Trade Center wasn't just about replacing buildings. It was about creating a place where history, memory, and resilience could live together. Today, the World Trade Center site stands as a testament to the power of remembrance, hope, and the enduring spirit of New York City. What do you think? Did the final design capture the balance between past and future? Or could one of the other finalists have provided a better representation? Share your thoughts in the comments. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and stay tuned for more Mega Build stories.